Good morning. My name is Megan Walker, and I'm a member of the incredible team of women and men at the London Abused Women's Centre. And I am really excited to welcome all of you to the agency's first ever virtual media launch. And I'm really appreciative of all of the support that Horizon Solutions has provided to us to be able to do this. I want everybody to know that we are all socially distanced in this studio, and we are all wearing masks, but for the purpose of speaking, we will be removing our masks just to make it more personable between us and also clearer in our discussions. Before we begin, I would like to introduce Fabienne Holler to come up. Fabienne is a member of our team, and she is going to do our Indigenous land acknowledgement.
We are gathered here today on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabeg, the Haudenosaunee, and the Lenni Lenape peoples, on the land subject to the Dish with One Spoon Wampum and other treaties. The local First Nation communities of this area include the Chippewas of the Thames First Nation, the Oneida Nation of the Thames, and the Munsee Delaware Nation. We respect the long-standing relationships that Indigenous nations have to this land, as they are the original caretakers. We acknowledge historical and ongoing injustices that Indigenous people endure in Canada, and we accept the responsibility to contribute toward revealing and correcting miseducation, as well as renewing respectful relationships with Indigenous communities. Miigwech Yako Anishik.
Thank you, Fabienne. That's always a really important part of our beginning of our meetings, and I appreciate you doing that for us. So again, welcome everybody. We're so appreciative you could be with us this morning on our Shine the Light on Women Abuse launch. You may have noticed that there are some crosswalks in the City of London, one at the corner of Central and Richmond and the other at Dufferin and Clarence that are already illuminated purple, painted purple. And it's really important for us to have had those locations because our Tree of Hope is on the corner also of Dufferin and Clarence, and also an unknown street is on just on the other side of Victoria Park, down the street from the Tree of Hope, and it's called, my mind is blank for a moment. Fabienne, what is it? Yes, I'm sorry. It's called Angel Street, and it is actually designated as Angel Street to represent the number of women murdered across our country, so that we can stop and reflect on that. The London Abused Women's Centre provided 8,127 women and girls with service last year. We've seen a 28% increase in our service demands since COVID, and demand for service continues to increase. Our fundamental principle at the London Abused Women's Centre is that all women and girls have a right to immediate access to service, and that is what we provide. There has never been a time in my history of working at the London Abused Women's Centre where we need to be more aware of the needs of abused women and children because of COVID. Abused women are isolated in their homes every day with their abuser, where they are forced to endure incredible acts of torture, assault, and verbal abuse. And their children are witnessing this and exposed to it every day. So this whole campaign is about raising awareness of the issue of male violence against women by turning the City of London purple for the month of November, which coincides with Women Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month. And we're asking people to wear purple on Friday, November 13th, as a sign of solidarity with women. We need to let women and girls know that any shame they feel for enduring the abuse they go through needs to shift from their shoulders to the shoulders of their abusers. And we want to make sure that women know they are not alone. They have a community and support behind them. There are resources in this community to provide women and girls with hope and with help. And the idea behind the Shine the Light campaign is that women see others wearing purple or illuminating their structures purple, and they feel safe then in reaching out, knowing that the person they are reaching out to is supportive of them. We also want to make sure that the community understands the importance of being direct and asking questions. So if you suspect somebody is being abused, quietly ask them if they're safe or in harm's way at home. And if they respond that they are being abused or at risk of harm, make sure they know there are services in this community to help them. I want to mention that we are having our official kickoff in Victoria Park at the Tree of Hope, where we will illuminate the Tree of Hope on Monday, November the 2nd at 5:30, also at the corner of Dufferin and Clarence. And as I mentioned, Wear Purple Day is Friday, November the 13th, and we want everybody to participate in that. I remember the first year we did this, and I was driving down the street near Fanshawe College, and I saw all of these young kids getting onto a bus wearing purple, and it was really inspiring and provided me with a great deal of hope, and I know it would have to women who needed them as well. We're asking that you use the hashtag #ShineTheLight. And if you need a merchandise list or images, they're in the media folder that we are sharing at the end of this launch. It'll be available to everybody around 1:00 p.m. So you will see many buildings and structures illuminated purple this year, many residences, places of worship, schools, crosswalks, and we do have for sale our limited edition purple Speak Out, Shine the Light masks for anybody that's interested. I want to acknowledge in particular at this point our platinum sponsor, our partner in this endeavor, which is Bob Gallant from Gallant Wealth. Because we are social distancing today, he has pre-recorded his statement, and I would ask that that be played now.
At Gallant Wealth, it's always been our honor to partner with LAWC for the Shine the Light campaign. And the need for this year's campaign to be successful has never been greater. As the pandemic ensues, all of our lives have become more stressful at home. But for some women and girls, they've actually had to isolate with their abusers. The few hours a day they've had free from their abusers has been removed because they can't go to work or school any longer. Add to that increased health and financial stressors, and the situation has become very dire. It's no surprise that LAWC has seen a record number of calls coming in, and our financial resources from a government standpoint have been stretched to all areas of our society, and that leaves it up to us to help fill that financial void. Everyone deserves to have a safe home. It's supposed to be our sanctuary from the outside world, and your generous contributions this year will ensure an opportunity for all women and girls to live a life free of fear and abuse.
We're so grateful to Gallant Wealth and really grateful to Bob Gallant, who continues to talk about this issue in the community. Again, I'd like to thank Horizon Solutions. This is the first ever launch we've ever had to do virtually, and we were all really nervous about this coming in, and they've made us feel really at home. And we're really happy that we're able to continue to have our launch thanks to their efforts. So our honoree this year is a really inspiring young woman. Her name is Olivia Beadle, and she is our 2020 honoree. She was born in Sarnia, Ontario, raised in London for a period of time when she went to Sir Winston Churchill School, then moved to Glencoe, where she was in high school at Glencoe District High School. And she has a really compelling experience to share with you today. She was trafficked and now has gone on to be a business owner herself. She owns a spa in the city called Vacay. It's located on Main Street in London, Lambeth, London now. She is somebody who has never allowed her trauma or her disabilities to define who she is or what she is capable for. And at this time, I'd like to ask Olivia to come and share her experience. Thank you, Olivia.
Thank you, Megan. Hello, my name is Olivia Beadle and I've survived human trafficking. I am proud to stand here today as the honoree of the Shine the Light on Women Abuse campaign. This year, I have been given the opportunity to use my voice to give women and girls hope that they can leave the sex trade and be successful in life without having to resort back to escorting. London Abuse Women's Center has played a great role in helping me stay out of human trafficking. By providing me all the resources I needed to stay safe and secure and find a place to live. Ongoing counseling and support groups. When I didn't find the women's support group to be helpful, as I am a person who was abused in the sex trade and not someone who was just abused by a significant other. I mentioned this to the staff at LAWC, and that's when they created the Phoenix Group that focuses on human trafficking. The Phoenix Group helps me heal and forgive myself for the things I have done and experienced. I was an escort for 3 years. During my time escorting, I was battling life-threatening illnesses, as I am a person with disabilities. I went to college while I was human trafficking. I graduated with the highest academic award, leadership award, and excellent attendance award. After college, I got promoted to be the spa manager at a spa I worked at. My pimp broke my hand, so I couldn't go to work. While I was unemployed, he made me sell my body again. Here's a photo of my hand when my pimp took away my freedom of working in my career as an esthetician. When I went to the hospital to be treated for my injuries, a staff member referred me to London Abuse Women's Center so I could get the help and support I needed to safely leave my pimp as I lived with him, making my situation very risky. He continued to abuse me, causing me to show up to work with marks on my skin all the time. My employer at the time tried helping me leave and realize my worth, which at the time I couldn't see. Here's a photo of the last time he put his hands on me. This photo is powerful. It's the first time I saw my worth, the first time I could see the light in my darkness, as my world was crashing right in front of me. I lost my job, my place to live, all because of one person. I had to go to the hospital again, but this time I had a brain injury, and they had to do x-rays on my throat because he choked me so badly that I could nearly speak, making it really hard for me to swallow foods and liquids. But I survived. He choked me to kill me, but I lived. Today, I am a proud owner of Vacay, which is a beach-themed spa. I just celebrated my 2-year anniversary in September, not only for my business, but also 2 years of being free of human trafficking, and 2 years of being safe, and for that, I am hopeful that other women and girls can feel safe one day too. When I was escorting, every day was a struggle, mentally, physically, and emotionally. When you're in that state of mind, it's hard to see the good or even plan a future outside of trafficking. When you're trying to live day by day in a scary environment. The men and women who pay for sex are some of the most evil people you could ever meet. I was so scared, I registered myself as an adult entertainer, so that if I were to go missing, they would have my identification or identify me if I was murdered. There's a lot of fear of catching sexual transmitted infections or HIV, being kidnapped or murdered. These are a lot of things escorts don't talk about. We also don't talk about the disgusting things we do for the money. Consent isn't an option. When a client pays for us, they own us until they're fully satisfied. I'll be telling my story and my experiences at the kickoff event November 2nd. So please, if you know someone or suspect someone or yourself is being trafficked, please reach out to London Abuse Women's Center and tell them about London Abuse Women's Center. We all can save a life today. I'm happy to be a survivor leader and help Londoners save lives too. Thank you.
Thank you, Olivia, for your incredible courage and bravery in speaking out today to share your experience. I'm always really moved when we have women that share experiences because I know the impact your experience and story will have on others. And they will see you as somebody that endured horrific abuse and assault and made it through and survived. You're so resilient and inspiring, and you will change the life of at least one person watching today. And we really appreciate you and your resilience and all you have endured to come forward today and talk about hope and survival. Thank you. I would like to just again mention Angel Street, which in my fear of coming up here on a virtual event today, I forgot. And Angel Street is located between Clarence and Central. It's a small street that drives right into Richmond. And I hope you'll sort of take a moment to go and see the signs there, the street signs, and better understand what it's all about. So we do have our campaign kickoff at the Tree of Hope on Monday, November the 2nd, where Olivia will share more, and we hope everybody will attend that virtually. We're getting a lot of calls from people who would like to attend physically. And of course, it's a public park, and we know for some of you there's great meaning in attending this event because it is very powerful. And if you come, we would advise that we will be expecting you to wear masks, and also we will have social distancing. And you'll hear a lot more about this event in the coming days. I would like to close now by asking the media if they have any questions to prepare those questions now, and Olivia will join me on the stage, and our esteemed staff member Jennifer Dunn will moderate that for us. And thank you to all of our supporters and our sponsors and the media for logging in today. It really means a lot to us, and it means so much to the women that come forward and so courageously share their experiences. Olivia, would you like to come up with me?
Good morning, everybody. Do we have any questions?
Sorry. You want to come up here? There.
We have a question from Jonathan.
Hi, Miguel. This is Jonathan from the Free Press.
Oh, hi, Jonathan. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Just wanted to ask you, if you could elaborate a little bit more. I felt that sense of urgency of the situation that we're experiencing with the pandemic and how it connects right now with the issue of women abuse, not only in London, but all across Canada and the world. It really seemed that demand seems to have spiked here in the city for your services. So if you can expand a little bit about that message of being really alert during these times and the conditions that the pandemic has created.
That's a great question. And so the pandemic obviously has prevented many, many women and girls from accessing service because they are isolated in their homes and don't have the ability to leave or make phone calls. And when the pandemic first hit, we were forced to move our office into our homes, and we provided online service and Zoom calls through our homes, and that was great for those women and girls who had access to telephones. And it was great for those women and girls who were aware that we were providing that service. But for so many, they didn't have access to the service, to a telephone. They didn't have access to listening to the media to talk about what services were provided in the community. And so they were left at home, hopeless, and wondering when they would ever be able to get out of their homes and seek help again. And so it was important to us then to work with the community and work with government to raise the money needed to make our space safe, and we have done that. It's literally plexiglass throughout our building. Everybody goes through an assessment at the door. We give everybody hospital masks, and everybody has their temperature taken. And so those women who are able to leave perhaps going to the grocery store and stopping in even for 5 minutes, are at least able to get a safety plan. And we have developed an urgent drop-in program so that individuals in the community who have urgent issues and really can only stop in for 5 or 10 minutes are able to come in to the office and just walk in and access service. And that service is actually what we are seeing the biggest increase in demand for. So this, you know, what we've done is we've talked about the pandemic of COVID, which we need to do. We need to understand that. But we've really forgotten or set aside the pandemic of male violence against women. And we know in this country a woman is murdered every 6 days. We know that 1 in 4 women will be abused by her partner. And we know that if women are asked about their circumstances, they will honestly respond. And if you are the one asking and your response is one of support, they will follow that support and reach out for service. So, you know, during the pandemic, we did reach out to the community, and things we said that we say now are, if you know that it's going on and you have the opportunity to see a woman even outside of her home in the garden or whatever, and can walk by and say, listen, are you okay? And if you need help, even in the middle of the night, you can always come to my house. Those things make such a difference. And we had women who have come into our urgent service now who said it was their neighbors that told them our service was available. So Shine the Light is about really addressing the issues of male violence against women and the urgent issues we see now because of the pandemic.
Jonathan, do you have a follow-up question?
I'm good, thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Are there any other questions for Megan or Olivia?
So if you have no further questions at this time, but you think of questions after, you can certainly call us at any time, as you always do. We really appreciate everybody being here today. We have a lot of politicians that are listening in, and we hope that they will appropriately place a priority on this issue. I know that London City Council is the first council and therefore the first city that has actually made in their strategic plan a specific area of focus to create a safe community for women and girls. And I can't tell you how much that means to us and how significant that is in the lives of women and girls. And so as we close, I just want to again thank Olivia. It's just so powerful what you have to say, Olivia. And you are such an inspiration. And I'm so grateful to have you as our honoree this year. And I want to thank all of you and just send a message that this is a very pressing and important issue impacting all of society. And we can't urge you strongly enough to take action, whatever action you can, to help women and girls in our community so that they too, like Olivia, can live their lives free from violence and abuse. So as I said, we'll be logging out now, but after 1 o'clock today, you'll be able to access this videotape. I'm not sure how do they access this videotape? Oh, everybody will be sent an email, so you'll be able to access it then. So thank you all again so very much, and take good care. And we hope to see you in the park.
Thank you.